I don't want to do like I did with Majeffries United and just have loads of really good players dominating the league each season, because it was fun at the time, but it's not really my style anymore. Oh, we're against Ashton now to try and sign. I just realised, post-match, oh, we did play the right formation. I thought it was a 4-2-3-1 for a second. I was about to say, that's not right. No, it's all good. Caruthers has joined, so he's our second choice left back, I suppose. Second/third choice left back. At this point, I'm going to start assembling the squad that I want to start the season with, and hope no one gets injured. So if I go tactics, so the starting lineup is basically going to be this, except I'm going to put Jones in there and then swap these two over. So this is going to be the first team lineup. You, I know, want to play as a wing back, set to automatic. You're a full back, because Johnston, you know, doesn't defend, whereas Drewson, I imagine, does more so. You are going to be a ball-winning midfielder, set to defend. You are going to be an advanced playmaker, set to attack. Okie dokie. And then the bench. That's basically my starting lineup for every game that they're available. Bench is going to be King, Caruthers, Douglas Pringle, Thompson, and Parsons. So I think you're only allowed 5 subs. Make sure that is in place. How many more matches are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, 5. And then we have our first game, which is a cup game. I'm hoping the draw gets done soon. There it is. Literally as I say it, the draw's made. So I think this version of the database actually has more cup competitions than the last version did, because I don't remember playing in the FA Cup in the first season last year in the FM17 database, but it does seem to be the case this year, which is awesome. I like that. It's the little details that make the big differences. I think this game is going to chug a little bit at times, because we've got quite a few leagues loaded. I might take out France and Germany and things like that at the end of this first season. Oh, Douglas Pringle's out for 3 weeks with concussion. McConaughey's out for between 6 and 9 days. I'm actually going to do that. Add remove leagues. Oh, they're set to view only anyway. Okay. Okay. I mean, the game speed's pretty high, I suppose. It's 23,000 players. It's a good number. We've got this new scout. Good, good. My chief scout is in charge of all of that kind of thing. Dishing out scouts and telling them where to go and things like that. So I'm just going to let him worry about that sort of thing. Just going to make sure those that have been scouted appear at the top here. So I mean, Tasabi does look good, but I just don't think we need him. I think we've got a lot of midfielders. We've got a lot of kids that deserve a chance, because if you give them a chance, they have the potential to be very, very good players, if you're willing to give them the try. Oh, who did we draw in the... I didn't see who we drew in the cup. Who's this? Akiotu. We'll bring him in on trial. Yeah, who did we get in the cup? Jarrow, Roofing, Bolden, CA? don't know what CA stands for. Isn't there somewhere where you can see what their full name is? I don't know. Hey, Sparks. We're playing a lot earlier today. We're actually going to get some games under our belt. London Tigers, isn't that one of the teams that you said about, Sparky? Diallo rejected us. Bastard. Never wanted him anyway. Which is partly true. Oh, Tom Holland. Do you fancy signing Spider-Man? Kyoto's rejected us. Holland, however, has not. He was at Swindon. Interesting. How good is he? He's pretty good. He's apparently better than Robinson. Do you know what then? He's cheap as well. Alright. There was I'm sure there was someone in one of my streams that mentioned London Tigers. Oh, we beat the 61. That's not Andy Drury. No, Alex Drury. Who scored for us? McGregor, penalty, and Parsons. Awesome. Good to see Parsons getting some game time and some goal time. Let's go check the sound levels really quickly. Yeah, no, pretty good. I had to take my headset off. Apologies if you heard that. Very experimental back line we played there. It seems to be playing King in goal and not O'Brien. I wonder why that is. Who knows? Okay. I feel quite prepared for the season. I could be very, very wrong, and we'll come back down to earth with a massive bump in just a minute. But with, I think it's 2 friendlies to go. 2 friendlies to go. 3 friendlies to go. And then we get into the business. All my players in last year of contract. That shouldn't be the case actually, because they should have all signed up for. Well, they should be on non-contract terms, so they shouldn't be in expiration. We'll keep a very close eye on that. I might actually get my director of football to negotiate with players. Actually, that must have been an option. Let me go back. Come on. Is there not an option for director of football? I don't think they'd sign a new deal now, would they? Yeah. Only just signed a new deal. Come on, game. Could have told me that at the time. Bloody hell. Alright, how did we do here? We won, just. Wilson with the goal. Maybe we will struggle. That's, I mean, you shouldn't really take pre-season 2 seriously, but the fact that we're only just beating non-league teams, I'm starting to worry a little bit. Holland has joined. Good, good. Do we need more right backs? We've got Grant, we've got Robinson. I remember signing Randall last year for my Hatfield team. He was pretty good. Well, we've signed Caruthers. I'm trying to discipline myself. We don't need loads of players. I'm trying to avoid having a squad full of players. because that does not work. It never works. You just end up with half your team hating you because they're not getting any game time. So another rule, you should never have to scroll down. Once this all clears out, I won't have to scroll down. If I go into this, see, I don't need to scroll down, so that's good. We've got about the right number of players. I counted how many we made last night, didn't I? Was it 14 players we created? Way less than what it used to be. It used to be 22. I think I had enough for two full squads. Providing half of them played out of position, of course. But yeah, I left out Delamond, I left out Bobo, I left out Francois, I left out Klopmus, I left out Beckhold. Forgot his name then. Left out Beckhold. Who else did I leave out? Quintaka, Villa. There must have been more. I might put a link actually. When I upload this to YouTube, I might put a link in the description to the original You Don't Win Anything with Kids series. There's some pretty good games in that series. I'd just completely forgotten about how good that series was and how much fun it was to do. The only reason I stopped it really was I'd got into the championship and the viewer figures just dropped like a stone. So at that point it was kind of like, I don't really want to be making videos that no one's going to be watching. So I stopped the series. Carried on playing the game for a little bit longer. I think the finances of the club as well were just about to go majorly downwards. I think the administrators were called in not long after. So I imagine I ended it at about the right time. I said I wasn't going to bring loads of players in on trial. I've just brought in 6 players on trial. We'll have a look at them. It's nice not being under pressure to actually build a squad, because normally at this point you don't have a first team squad. You have some players in your squad, but most of them you end up getting rid of, and then you promote a couple from the youth team, and then you spend the whole time in the transfer window just trying to find anyone who'll be willing to play for you. So it's nice not having to do that. I can just bring players in on trial for the hell of it. I don't actually have to sign anyone. It's quite relaxing. Alright, last pre-season friendly coming up against London Tigers. Who's going to be our captain for the season? I think it's going to be O'Brien actually. He's our best rated. And then McConnor as vice captain. Yeah, I like that. O'Brien is captain, McConnor is vice captain. Good selection. Okay, looks like Jones is almost back from his injury. His match sharpness is very low and so is his condition. So I can't imagine he'll get picked for the London Tigers game. But if he gets a good run of training between those matches, he should be ready for the Jarrow Roofing Bolden CA match. I have never heard of that team before in my life, but I want to know more about them. 4-0, that's better. Holland, Dinsmore, Thomas and Barlow. So it's still the trialists who are doing the biz. We've announced a new main kit sponsorship deal. So Inform Football is sponsoring Hatfield for £1,400 a year. Were you aware of that, Sparky? Can we afford that? Something tells me the accountant will be getting a phone call in the morning saying, what the hell did you sign off on that deal for? For those of you who don't know, Inform Football is our football blogging site that we've set up together. Oh dear. Caruthers is not one. I said we signed a new kit sponsorship deal, £1,400 per annum, because we've got Inform on the front of the shirts. Basically asking, can Inform afford £1,400 a year? Yeah, so Inform is our football blogging site. We've got 2 podcasts, one of which isn't publicly available anymore, one of which is still available. We need to do more in the future. And then well, I did a series for a short while writing about Stevenage, which I will pick up again next season most likely, if I'm still in the country, of course, because you never know. When I graduate looking for a job, you never know where you'll end up. Wow, this guy wants a lot of money. Yeah, as soon as he asked for 240 a week, I didn't fancy our chances. Have you done that before then, sponsored a player? I've always wanted, when going back to the Northampton story I was saying earlier, when Yemi signed for Stevenage, it was one of the most excited days of my life. I never spoke to the man personally. He tweeted me a couple of times on my birthday because my friend asked him to. But I wanted to sponsor him, and someone always beat me to it every year. Like, even before I had the opportunity to find out how much it was and stuff like that, someone had already sponsored him. But he's written his name into Stevenage history because he never really did much at all the clubs he was at. It's only because he played really well for me on FIFA that I really liked him. But when he signed for Stevenage, the first season he signed was the season after Steve Morrison left to go to Millwall, and we sold him for 110,000, I think it was. And with that money, we signed Chris Beardsley, Charlie Griffin, and Yemi Odobade. And Griffin and Yemi were both neck and neck, trying to get top scorer in the league for us that season. And Yemi beat him by a goal, 15-14. We won the league, got promoted to the Football League for the first time ever. Right, managerial debut. Talking about stature, I'm treating it. See, I don't know whether they're bigger or smaller than us. If they're talking about playing a team of our stature, does that mean playing against the little guys or playing against the big boys? I don't know. I just don't know. Wow, all these signings are me. Good to know. Anyone else on this list that we can look at? I'm really tempted to. I'll bring him in on trial. Might not sign him, but I'll bring him in on trial because I know how good he can be. Pretty much every player you saw on that list with stars next to their name I've signed at some point in my Football Manager career. They're basically, they're like old friends to me now. What's his rating compared to Jones? Pretty low. He's actually lower than Cartwright as well. Interesting. Okay. We'll let him stay on trial for now. I'll weigh up the options and decide whether he's worth the investment or not. I mean, it's £40 a week only if he plays, and I think we'll give him like 5 or something if he doesn't. So we can go buy some sweets on the way home. Alright, Cook. Got another scout. So we've got 2 scouts and a chief scout now, which I think is a lot for a Spartan South Midlands Division 1 team to have 3 scouts. Particularly when they're not volunteers, they're actually being paid. You know, this is their job kind of thing. That's a lot of money to be spending just on scouting. Okay, competition. They expect us to finish mid-table in the league. FA Cup reach extra preliminary round, which I think we're already in. FA Vars reach second qualifying round, which again I think we're already in. And the Spartan South Midlands League Cup, they want us to reach the second round. Okay. Alright. Match time. Here we go. We're playing in our lovely away kit, by the looks of things. Oh, we can have 7 subs for this. Okie dokie. Who am I going to chuck in then? The other question is, do I start Wilson or do I start Parsons? Parsons is technically better. It's one of those dilemmas that you don't really want to have at this stage of things. I'm going to put Holland on the bench. We're also going to put Dinsmore on the bench. I'm going to start Parsons alongside Wilson. Going to make sure the match plan is like that. I'm going to save the game again because I think I already did it, but I can't remember. I don't know how volatile this can be, particularly when you start adding additional databases. It can be very volatile. Has anyone in the chat watched Ready Player One yet? I went to see it this afternoon. Obviously I won't talk about it if there's people who haven't seen it yet. I really enjoyed it though. Very good film. Okay, here we go. First competitive game of the season. Let's hope it's a good one, lads. Peter Wilson kicks us off for our first ever competitive match. And Cartwright just lumps it forward. I think we're on extended highlights. Yes, we are. Good, good. Right, so I got the match plans kicking in as well. In case you're wondering why the tactics might change and things like that. It's because I've got match plans. I might talk you through them actually separately, because I've talked you through them on my Steamish career. But if there's people who haven't watched that, then I probably should talk you through it again. Alright, Barnes up against Johnston, manages to clear it away. Jones with a header inside to McGregor. Plays it forward to McConnor. Into Johnston. Back to McConnor. McGregor, McConnor. We're moving it around quite nicely. Wilson. Parsons. Oh, beautiful finish. Robbie Parsons. Get in. How did you get on, Sparky? 1-0 up inside 5 minutes. Nice. So it's Johnston to McConnor, to McGregor, back to McConnor, to Wilson. He put it on a plate for Parsons. Just dinked it into the top corner. Very nice goal. Good way to start. Alright, for some reason we've switched to a 4-2-3-1 after scoring. Have I said that? I think I did set that up actually. So there's nothing unusual about that. As long as it doesn't make a sub. We don't want home player body language there. What I really want is formations. Oh, that's handy to have. I'll have that there still. And then here I'm going to have recent events, no, action zones, Hatfield Town stats. I want something that's not dependent on whether it's a home or away. Latest scores maybe? 1-1 draw, that's not bad. How about shots? Yeah, we'll have shots. Alright, not that. This, Hatfield, player ratings. Hopefully the stat bars and stuff aren't too intrusive around the edge of the screen. I tried to make them as small as possible whilst keeping all the key information. Oh damn, they've just scored. Who was that? That was Grant at the back post, wasn't it? Beaten in the air by Campbell. Oh dear. I think we might struggle a bit defensively. Every team struggles defensively at this level. So Glenn Ravenhall with the cross. Yeah, Grant beat Campbell. Not really sure what O'Brien was doing there though. I think he should have saved it. Bit disappointed with him.